Alright, we'll give this one more try. Okay, so we are going to kick off our playthroughs of the World Cup of Design 2022 courses with the Close by sebk. Um, Seb is relatively new. He first caught my eye with his CC contest entry last summer. I can't remember the name of it. Some Kairos Baltar or something like that. People with their course names these days. Um, but I thought it was pretty good, and I took a flyer on him when I was drafting for Dream Team, and took a flyer on him with an alternate spot, and had a really nice design with a Kaisersteiner. So I'm glad to see Seb in the field as an alternate again. So I think if he keeps things up, he won't be an alternate in a lot of contests. Um, So yeah, I guess I'll say a couple things, kind of how these are gonna go. This is the first time I'll have seen each course. I'm not going to do like a thorough searching for things to nitpick. I'm just gonna kind of give my honest opinion of things as I see them. I'm not gonna do any like zooming around or anything like that. I'm just gonna play, and I'll be honest. So yeah, in terms of how I'm playing, I'm using 281 driver on master difficulty. So and I don't use the scout cam or the follow cam. Okay. When I'm playing some judging rounds, I'll be sure to use more sort of TGC Tours style settings for at least a round or two. So don't worry if you think that your course plays badly in this light. That's not the only way I'm going to play it, and I'm guessing most of the judges won't. So with that, we have the close by Seb. So let's take a look. Um, Preferred tees for judging are the black back tees. Desired prevailing wind is a north prevailing wind. Highlands bug pit fairways to firm. All right. Um, so with that, away we go. So we got our opening tee shot here. You can see it's a nice wide open um, stretch of holes here. You can see some other holes coming down, like with lots of paths going through the light rough, lots of bunkers. So yeah, I don't know why I don't know why the yardages aren't showing up at the bottom of the screen there. But 537, so it looks like we got a reachable par 5 here to start. But if we want to have a shot at it, we got to hug those bunkers on the left. Let's see if I can bring up the scorecard here. Yeah, so not a long one. 7140 par 72, so not punishingly long. And we get a crappy drive to start. Looks like it's going to go into that bushes on the hill there. Okay, so it looks like kind of the fairway kind of banks in from the right. Again, I guess I'm just going to get into nitpick mode, but maybe have that hill kind of jut out into the fairway a little more. It's not too bad. Went with a little bit of splash of the autumn colors here we see. All right, so this is basically just kind of a hack it out and lay it up. I do have to think about the bunkers there, but with this lie I've got, I don't think they're really going to be in play. So Seb is in group, I believe he's in group H. Yes, he is in Group H. Alright, so we managed to get it back into play. If we can hit a good shot here, we got to look at birdie. It looks like we got a long, narrowish green here. You got pretty severe spine maybe running through it. This might not be enough to get there. I think we're pin high. Alright, yeah, we got a birdie putt. Yeah, so this pin's kind of, sort of on a shelf. And then you've got this fall off to the left. I think that maybe the sculpting in the back left there is a little bit abrupt. Maybe just use a few random raises to kind of make it a little more random, maybe a little more natural looking, but that's nothing too much. Nice view back down the fairway. Green's kind of in a little dell here. All right, opening birdie. So far I've not had the need for one. Okay, so long par 3. This is kind of in this little dramatic, rocky sort of valley, I guess. So it looks like we kind of just want to play out to the left here and not mess with the ravine there. I don't think we have the right club for this either, unfortunately. So we'll just play for the front of the green, perhaps, with a hybrid. And that's, yeah. OB? No, yep, it's OB. Okay, great. Let's try that again. There we go. All right. Well, I think that... Ooh, look at it take the slope. That was fun. Yeah, so, you know, plenty of helping slopes for a long shot like that. Green's very long, so you can imagine the whole play's really long when the pin's in the back like that. But yeah, it gives you plenty of room to play out there, so it's not like it's that punishing. Alright. Birdie double bogey start. That's a very me in real life type start. Okay, so now what do we got here? Long par 4, plenty of width. Lots of little random humps and bumps in the fairway. Looks like the green's got a very severe fall off on the right. Yeah, so I think it's probably going to necessitate playing out to the right here. That's going to lengthen the hole too, so it's kind of what do you want to do? And with my, it's downhill though, so it does have that going for it. Looks like he used lots of the brown elms kind of mixed in among the greens. Plenty of rocks. So we kind of got this sandy ridge we got to hit over now. But we got plenty of rollout on the drive, so it's not like we're coming in with like a 4-iron or something. So it's doable. Except we're in between clubs. I think we'll just step on a pitching wedge probably, since we got a downhill lie. Just sort of play for the front of the green. Yeah, I think we're more or less pin high. Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, so I like the sculpting off to the left there. I like that. You got the little hummocks there. Um, whereas over here it's a little harsher, right? Where it's just you've got really steep fall off to flatness. Um, it just kind of looks artificial. Whereas if you look over here, right, it's a little more random and graceful. So I'd say a little more of that and a little less of what's on the other side of the green. All right. The birdie double birdie start. Okay, so the bunkers are pretty flat, and I mean that's obvious. That seems like it was a conscious decision. I think I'm digging the texture choices. Okay, so this one kind of bottles up at about 290. You got the water in play on the right. With my pea shooter of a driver, I really can't lay up. Okay, let's go. Ooh, it kicked pretty hard right. Did I stay in the fairway? Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm kind of coming across the green here, although, you know, the angle isn't necessarily that vital because it's 136. Yeah, I think I can get there. Except when I do that. Let's see where that left me. Alright, we just came up a little short. Green's running away from us. So what are we looking at here in terms of greens? I mean, that feels a little weird in that, like, the water's on the right. And if the further right you go, the worse your angle is. I understand you got the bunkering on the left, so that is actually the preferred side. But yeah. Again, maybe the walls here maybe a little bit vertical, but I mean that's not that. I don't think it's that bad. Overall, I think the sculpting's pretty good here. Alright, who joined the group? Reebdoog. I assume turn order's off. Alright. Par 4 heading back towards the clubhouse, and you get to... Obviously, with a clubhouse like that, you want to show it off more than a couple times. Alright, so we got a short par 4 now. You get this really skinny green hard up against the lake. So this, you know, kind of the shaping here is maybe a little avant-garde. So with my driver, going for this isn't really an option. Again, that's not a fault of the designer, it's just the way I'm playing it. I tend to lay up on a lot of these holes. What's our distance on the card here? 323. Yeah, if the pin were up front, I'd probably be tempted to try and maybe drop it in the front bunker, or kind of land it pin high left. Uh, but with the pin way back there, I think I might as well just lay it up. Yeah, we'll just lay it up to the wide part of the fairway here. Really handsome tee shot. This is probably my favorite one on the course so far, just in terms of visuals. Obviously, you have the clubhouse backdrop, but the way the bunkers sit in the ground, it just looks really nice. All right, a little bit in between clubs here. Pins in the back. I think we're going to have to loft this. Ooh, we live dangerously on that one. So yeah, you kind of got like a back tier here. Sort of a middle bowlish thing. If you bail left, you're on the wrong side of that knob there. I mean, I think strategically this works really well. I don't know about, again, this is kind of like a minor stylistic thing. I mean, you've got straight lines kind of throughout the course. So the straight line on the green makes sense there. Yeah, I think this is a pretty well designed short par 4. Um, Maybe you could, for example, if the pin's back here and you just blow it left, I don't think you're really in any kind of trouble. You got a little bit of a downslope to deal with, so maybe you could accentuate that a little bit if you want to create a bit more of a challenge. Okay, back across the water for number 6. A little short par 3. Down the hill. Alright, I think we, again, got a bit of a tweener here. I think we just kind of play it safe here. Yep, good call. If I went with a gap wedge, that would have been wet. But yeah, made me think. I think you could have moved that pin maybe. I mean, obviously, I don't know where the other pins are. I believe this is pin set 1. So maybe one. I'm imagining 1 is kind of right near where I'm standing on the other side of that yellow slope. And then you got 1 on that little shelf in the back there. And then 1's probably maybe just up by the bunker there. I think the planting's pretty good here. I think it's hard to get the autumn to judiciously use the autumn colors, and then if you're going to use lots of green colors to get them to blend in. I think it works well if you have lots of pine trees, but it's hard. It can be hard to have green deciduous trees and then like the brown ones. Okay, so we're going through a little chute here. we've got this sort of waste area to carry. It looks like it kind of cuts through. It's like a wash that sort of cuts through the course. Um, yeah, so this is what, par 5? Tempted. So if I hit 290, if I go like say 286 there, I get 188 in. If I go, if there I have let's say I get like 295, I have 224. It's probably not worth taking the shortcut because you might get a heavy rough lie and then you won't be able to get there, but I had to think about it. I definitely remember taking the beach shortcut on Breton Bay, one of those Breton Bay holes. Yeah, I think I made the right call, not going for the direct line, but still, look at the angle I have. It's pretty rough. So we got a green that's kind of got a little swale in front of it that we got to deal with. We got some bunkers to carry, although maybe not a huge concern, as long as I don't get a red tempo. But again, I'm a little bit in between here. I think a 4-iron should be good. All right, got an eagle putt. Yeah, so we just managed to kind of thread the needle there in between the two fall-offs, right and left. Yeah, again, kind of I'd repeat what I said about that other fall-off. I think it might have been on 3. This one's not. This one's has a little bit more naturalness to it. But yeah. All right, so we're 7 in. Interesting. We got sort of a short par 4, short non-drivable par 4. Looks like it's got a bunch of zits in the fairway there. I'm guessing the green slopes pretty hard left to right. I don't know about the kind of nondescript oval bunker next to the green. I feel like I'd like something more sort of like, these bunkers. Maybe a little bit more in keeping with the style that's going on. I feel like you had maybe an opportunity to do something a little more dramatic over there. All right, so how are we gonna play this hole? I think I'm just gonna play out to the left because I don't wanna lay too far back. Because like if I play out to the right, I have to use a 3-wood, and that'll put me like way back here. So I know it's gonna give me a lousy angle, but I'm gonna play out to the left. Now I'm gonna have a really lousy angle. Okay. So we got this like very sheer wall kind of cutting into the front. So I guess it's kind of like a leave-in template, isn't it? Just a very, very severe version of it. Alright, I think we gotta go with 7-iron here. And that was not enough. Yeah, I think I would have maybe softened this landform a little bit. It just kind of goes from big, like very high mound, vertical drop to flat. Um, Maybe just have the peak a little bit further from the green. Yeah, but I think the green slopes more or less make sense though. Ah, we almost got a bird. All right, this is an odd fairway. So we got a very reachable hole. I think I might have the right driver for this. Given that it's a little downhill, I might end up in the front bunker, but I can live with that, I think. Yeah, I feel like I need that fairway should come out to meet me a little bit more, like the kind of the rough between like where the planting stops and where the fairway begins. There's just a little too much. I think that would just look a lot more attractive if there was a big swath of fairway there. Maybe wrapping around like a rocky outcropping or something like that. I don't think it really affects the playability, but yeah, it feels weird having a 180 carry to a fairway on a drivable par 4. All right, let's give it a rip. Doesn't look like a Redan to me. It looks like a tabletop. I guess it does have a kicker. It's got a big kind of false front though. Yeah, I feel like if I go off that false front a lot, it's just gonna kick into the light rough there. That's kind of a minor nitpick, but yeah, you might want to give it a little more breathing space, um, or maybe just lower the front of the green. It could create kind of an interesting pin there, like if you lowered the front of the green, that front portion, so it was like substantially lower than the rest of the green, then that could create like some interesting things. Like if you try and drive the green and you end up just going over it, you have of an extremely. I mean, it kind of already is like that, but you could exaggerate it a little more, maybe. Just have like an extremely hard um, shot. Again, we got a little more of that harsh sculpting on the edge of the green there. Looks a little unnatural. Again, just a few little raises with a soft fuzzy brush around there. It makes all the difference in the world. All right, we got ourselves a tap-in birdie. All right, I'm enjoying myself through 9 holes. Group H is pretty tough, but this has been an enjoyable round. I've had to think off the tee shots and all that stuff, so it's been good. This one's uphill a little bit, so I don't know if it's just if you have a 295 driver, if that bunker's an afterthought or not. I certainly have to think about it. Ooh, my ball didn't quite climb over that hill there. So I'm guessing, like, in order to avoid the getting your drive killed, I needed to go a little further left and flirt with the bunker a bit more, maybe. Um, it's hard to tell without the scout cam, but this looks maybe a little bit violent for a fairway contour, but not like egregiously so. I'd say maybe it's a little borderline, but not something I'd like, not like a serious demerit or anything like that. Okay, so maybe that green's a little elevated. You got that big patch of fairway between the bunkers and the green. So the bunkers are kind of, I feel like with that, if the bunkers are for show, you should probably show them a little more. Just looking at what's off to the right there, maybe lower the land a bit so that you've got that nest of bunkers kind of staring you in the face. Here, there's just kind of like the suggestion of sand. And it's not like I hit a bad drive, so I feel like I should be able to see a little more there, just for like kind of something a little more visually striking. Okay, this might not get there. That's too much. Where's the pin? Pin is kind of middle. Alright, I guess I'll go with the 9-iron. Yeah, this thing just kind of falls off on all sides. So you definitely got to come in from the left. Okay. I don't have any issues with it, but it is just kind of, it's not very imaginative, I guess. It's just a crown. It doesn't have any like other like internal contours or anything, so I guess I'll admit I'm not like in love with this green, but it's not like it's not it's not like a catastrophe or anything. And it makes sense, I guess from a playability standpoint. Alright, there's the 3-putt. Or a 2-putt bogey. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of exploring the edge of the plot here. So now we got this ravine we're kind of playing up against. Alright. Man, this one's a beast. 501. So it's a little hard to see what's going on because we're into the sun there, but looks like it's kind of an angled green. And a little bit of a tweener here. I think this slope's going to kill this enough. And it doesn't matter because we hit a terrible shot. So big time elevated green. It looks like you kind of got a kicker slope there if the pin's in the front. Well, yeah, and it goes front to back. Okay, so you definitely got to rely on the ground game. I didn't, I mean, I didn't play the hole as it was designed, obviously. I'm very curious how where like if it looks to just looking at this, it looks to me like if I land it short, the ball's gonna go to the back of the green every time. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. So I'm not sure if the ground game is like actually a viable option there, even though it looks like it is. But you probably tested it. I'm just looking at it, so I'll reserve judgment on that for now. Well, that was dumb. Obviously, I shouldn't have chipped with that. I like the variety of your par fours. You know, it's not just a never-ending parade of. I think a lot of people they'll design like this never-ending parade of monsters with like one or two drivable ones thrown in, and they don't really try and fit any sort of like mid-length to like short par fours in there. Um, I appreciate a good one of those. Okay, so we've got another short downhill par three. It feels like we've already had one of those. Um, this one, looks a little different, but it is kind of like a green sort of reaching around trouble again. Um, but we'll see how it plays. This isn't going to be enough, but the sand wedge is too much for sure. So I think I'm just going to play for the middle of the green. We got a fast, that helps. Yay, that turned out pretty well. I'd maybe. So you see the little. This is a very small nitpick, but you see that bead going to the right by the hole? That's like kind of opposing the way the green wants to flow. So I don't know. I don't really like having double breakers when I'm inside like 10 to 12 feet. Um, so yeah, you're kind of. I like the how you cut that little hump in the green there. It basically, if you kind of bail out to the right, then you have to putt over it. Um, I'm imagining you get a similar thing going on with the front pin there. It's a well thought out green. I think of the two short par fours, I think I prefer, or the two short par threes on the course. I think I prefer this one. Although the other one looks nice. Yeah, stupid double breaker. All right, we got some fence work or bridge work, I mean, and low waterfalls. Okay, so we kind of got a split fairway deal here. It's 608. Not really downhill, so I'm not getting there in two. So I don't know if I want to risk that carry. We got a bit of a split level fairway here. .626. Well, I think I got to hit a driver. And the fairway pinches down pretty good there. As long as I put a decent swing on it, it should carry. So let's do that. Oh, light green. That there was some camber there that I didn't account for. Okay, so yeah, this was the plan all along. We'll just bunt a 3-wood up there, pitch it on, maybe get a birdie. And I hit another terrible shot. And I think we hit the rough. No, we stayed in the fairway. Okay, that turned out okay. Alright, so we got like some, I don't know, I guess sort of like maybe some Augusta 8 mounds there. They look very far from the green. You might put them a little closer to have an influence on play. Obviously, this is kind of designed to be reached with like 2 drivers, I think. Ooh, we almost made that. Shit. Yeah, I can imagine this is a fun one to attack into. But yeah, the mounding there just looks a little, it looks a little unnatural, and it doesn't seem all that well integrated to the green site. It feels like it should be in a little closer. Let's check out the replay there, since we didn't have the follow cam. All right, nice view that does nothing for us. Ooh. Okay. Onward. All right, we're back into the sun. I will say some of the end of the sun holes have a little, you got the glare there. It's not the most offensive, but um okay. So right. So you got this tiny little fairway patch of fairway I can go for on the left there. The hole is downhill, so presumably I can make that carry. I don't know if I feel like you got too. I don't know if I like the bunker here, because it just kind of turns it into like do or die. Like instead, I can't just think, all right, how much do I want to bite off? It's either you're going for it or you're not. Um, and I mean, I think the hole is short enough that I don't necessarily have to entertain that. You might run out of room if you go right, if you have a longer driver. I don't know. That's certainly a possibility. Now I just gotta see if I can orient myself without the scout cam. Alright, looks like I want to aim kind of like, yeah, right at the convergence point of those, yeah, like right up the path. Okay. Oh boy, is that gonna make the carry? Ooh, it just did. I ended up taking the aggressive route by accident. Okay, so we kind of got a green that's like on a promontory that's sort of raised above a bunker on the left, and then you got that river on the right, I guess. I know I'm out of position, but I can't really see a ton. But again, maybe if I actually made the fairway, I'd be able to see a little more. Alright. I don't think this is going to get there. Yeah, let's do 3-wood. Oh, we got the nice view though out to the kind of out to the sea there. Ooh. We ran one up there. Yeah, I feel like this has just kind of got like it's just got too much water everywhere. I don't know. I guess it's like a convergence point of those two rivers, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I usually don't put greens in places like that, but that's just me, I guess. Let's see if we can see the journey the ball took here. Oh, just landed right on the front and ran on by. Alright, this would be a sick birdie. Let's see if we can get it. Boom. Okay, so now we're kind of playing across to this green that's sort of elevated. With a bunker right in front of it. Alright, we're kind of in between clubs here, I think. Whoa, oh man, we had an ace! Look at that! And right when Seb came here, I made an ace! Congrats on making knockout stages. All right. Okay, let's see what. So 579, but that's like on a direct line. You'd put some trees in the way, but I don't know if that's much of a deterrent. Um, is this downhill? I mean, I think with my 281 driver, I'm fine. So yeah, we got to try it. It's into the wind, so that is a little bit gives me a little pause, but I got the little fist pump. That probably means I'm in the short stuff. I still don't think it's necessarily gettable. I mean, I think that like kind of works strategically if you play down the alternate fairway, just in terms of like you are taking on some additional risk. I think so. It's not like the hole is necessarily broken. I'm just curious. I'm not sure if you intended it that way. And also, I probably have a pretty crappy angle, so there is that. Yeah, it didn't work out so great. Um, yeah. I'm not sure I like the flatten brush that you used up here on the right. I'd like to see a little more, again, just a little more natural looking. And the lip of this bunker, I think, is just a little too stark, I guess. Just kind of some minor sculpting things I'd point to. Okay, yeah. So this is obviously you're going for something obviously man-made there. Um, I might put rough on top of that because that type of landform is just gonna get scalped when you run over it with a lawnmower. If you want it to look like that, I think personally I would just make them more gentle mounds that are a little more integrated. I like the I like the boldness of the green complex. Um, I think the sculpting is just a little too abrupt. But yeah, I've enjoyed my round so far very much. Um, all right, so we got this green. It looks like it's kind of we're like kind of playing up towards that big hill there with the rocks all over it. Okay, this tee shot looks uphill, so I'm guessing I can't carry those bunkers. Oh geez, I didn't look at what club I had. So I'm making this hole a lot harder than it needs to be. Well, it looks like I made short grass. I'll take that. Oh, we got fences by greens. My favorite thing. I don't know if anyone is here who's been a party to my fence rant before. I'm gonna save it. All I'll say is there's nothing more annoying in the world than being on the wrong side of a fence, like just being stymied by a fence. And it's like you got this beautiful natural, like look at this rock work looks terrific, and you just got this fence across it. I don't think that really. I don't know. Just not a fast. Just not a fan. Like obviously, like along like tee boxes and stuff. That's totally cool. Um, I've just never been a big fan of extensive fence use. Or if it's like it's like if you're like fencing off like a property line or something. Obviously, that makes sense. No, I'm just talking about visually. I don't like it. That's all. um, I'm not saying it's necessarily a playability headache, although sometimes it is, and it's hard. It's hardly the worst offense I've seen, if pardon the pun. All right, so we've got this kind of cape style tee shot. The bunker really prevents you from bailing out. I feel like maybe it cuts in a little bit too much. It's real that's really pinched. Maybe a tad much for my liking, but makes me think as I just sail into the bunkers. So let's see. I think we need that 6 iron. I think we should be able to make that carry. Alright, a little too much, but that's okay. Got this little pocket in the back of the green. I can't remember what that tree is doing, but I guess you could take it out or shrink it so it doesn't obscure that clubhouse as much. Um, I've never really taken a stab at the postmodern clubhouse design, but I appreciate it when people do it and pull it off. Yeah, that was a terrible putt. And yeah, I was saying it earlier, Seb. I'm guessing you'll go back and watch the video, but I liked how you show it off more than like 2 times. All right, nice 4 putt double bogey to finish. Great. um, but yeah, that was an enjoyable round of golf. I felt like I had to think on just about every hole. Um, and good variety of par fours. Um, the the par fives were fun. Yeah, I played plenty of fun shots, including the ace. I guess I don't know if I'm all in on the angular fairways, especially when you consider the shapes of a lot of the greens and the bunkers. I think maybe just kind of keeping it simple. I know angular shapes are kind of in these days, but that's maybe one thing you probably could have done without, but it's a choice. But just in terms of the holes were really well thought out, and I feel like there's several that I'm gonna remember. And yeah, I think your last 3 courses, you're definitely on a upward trajectory. So well done and good luck. All right, so that's gonna do it for me. Um, I hope to do some more playthroughs. It might be the weekend before I get to it though. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.